Hello lovely people and welcome back to our channel, Quinta, Fonte, Pipa. This week has been a bit of a mixed week with some ups and downs, so let's get into the video and see what we've been up to.
Sandra and I are about to go off up to the top of the farm and do a little bit of clearing. And in true Fonte Pipa fashion, the day wouldn't just be a normal day, would it, without a load of old... Well, it's very windy up here at the top, and at the moment, like Spain and everywhere else in Central Europe, in the summer you'd get some winds, and that's one of the reasons why I mention about fires, because what you might not get on the videos is when that wind's blowing 30-40 mile an hour and you get a fire, it travels at 30-40 mile an hour, so it can really make a normal fire on a calm day a bloody nightmare. So, and I've noticed in the last couple of years during this time of the year the winds are getting stronger and stronger, so it's like a double whammy really, isn't it? But I mean, I think some people think I go on about fires a lot, but once you've had one, but it's not just Portugal, it's Spain, France, Canada, California and America. I mean, most of the world's starting to burn now, you know. So it's not just here, but you've got to worry about it. Anyway, the reason we're up here is always things changing on the farm. We are behind the barn, and people know roughly where we are. That's the goat barn. What I want to do is fence off of the side of here and here, and we can have some little load, literally like my log store here, but without the base on it. So the mums can come in here when they're about to have babies. So I want to build something a bit like this over here. So the idea with the maternity wing is that the mums can come in here away from the harassment of the other females in the main barn. They can have their own space to give birth. They'll only be in here with other birthing mums. So as I've just explained about the mothers coming in here and all the rest of it, I put this in the wrong place, but that's how it is sometimes. I needed to move the junk from back there, so there was no room to build it before we cleaned it. So I'm hoping this isn't just about to collapse on me. Didn't take me long to build it, but I'd rather not to have to pull it apart and rebuild it. We've been using it to store some of the fence posts and whatnot we've got, and some spare rolls of part-used fencing rolls. I'm going to pull these out the way, take the posts out, stick some straps through it, and try and move it without completely destroying it. Well, this is going to go one of two ways. Really well, or I'm going to end up with a load of collapsed pallets. Place your bets. I don't know where I put my money. Just as I said about it not exploding, I knew I should have kept my mouth shut. There we go, should slide past there now. And the other thing is, I don't even really know where I want it yet. There's still more to clean here. I really wanted it roughly where that pile of rubbish is there, so we can bring the wood in and clean it, and it still be within range of the hoses to protect it. Well, it moves. I think the reason we got away with it is I put a scaffold bar to spread the load across all the pallets, as I'm only pulling it from 2 parts. You can see this is separated, but it will go back. And it's only a log store, so it's perfect. You know, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's just to keep the wood covered. I really only want the goats area to come to here anyway, so I've done the job for the time being, but I don't just want to randomly leave it somewhere. Oh, where am I going to put it? I'm hoping I'm going to turn it round now, face it along here, so the opening's facing you guys. Let's hope we have the same luck we've just had moving it from over there. Well, it's far from perfect, but it's like we've already said, it's a log store. It's my new off-grid living. I'm going to make this into my living house.
Will it have a bathroom?
Yeah, and a kitchen. That's the big roll of fencing that we salvaged back from the pig area over there. So that's over here now. There's a few offcuts. I've got new metal fence posts in there. I've got the smaller ones I use to prop up in between bigger posts when I'm fencing. If there's any saggy bits or a point the goats like to go underneath, I spike it down with those because they're cheaper than buying the full-size fence posts. So that will hold those there for me. That's looking a little bit clearer. I've got rid of the fence posts I had laying down there, and here I've got the chain link fencing, which I bought last year here, which is meant to go down all the fencing around the compound where the goats that are sitting in the shade. That will lock them in there. So I'm going to lift those up next, and they will go over there with the rest of the stuff. The log store is by no means perfect, and I think maybe, I don't know, maybe next winter I might do something with it. I said in last week's video, the following day I was going to cut the grass in the front lawn, and I think you can see that I haven't got round to doing it yet. I'm going to get the strimmer out, and I'm going to strim around the edges and around the base of the trees and along the wall there where I can't quite get up there with the tractor. And then either later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning I shall put the cutter, which is on the floor next to me down here, on the tractor and go and cut it. And the reason I've not put the cutter on the tractor just yet is because I haven't put the arms back on. Well, it's only a 10-minute job, but finding 10 minutes to do a 10-minute job is hard sometimes. So what with editing videos and doing all the other jobs around the farm. So hopefully tomorrow morning you'll see me. I would have cut the front garden here. A few of the goats are in the back garden coming to see what all the noise is about. Trim around the edges of this, and I'll come in here and I'll cut under these cork trees here. It's an old dog kennel we had, which obviously I've trimmed under, which was a duck house. It will go back up to the top of the farm as a duck house or a chicken house again at some point. We've got to get the goats organised first and get them operational, and then we're going to get ourselves some more chickens again. Not 100 like we had last time, just, I don't know, 10, half a dozen chickens, just to keep the kitchen supplied with eggs. Price of eggs have gone through the roof, so it'll help save a few pennies every week, and I eat eggs every day. Obviously I've cleaned all the fire road down here. So all along the side of the road is all clean, so if a fire should happen in there, it shouldn't come across the road. And if it does, then we've got a slow boundary, but I'm going to cut this low. It's within the 50 metres of the house.
As you can see, I'm in the goat barn. I do apologise if the lighting isn't great. But this morning we found Susie on her own, and she has got a rather large hole through the front and back side of her boob. I will spare you the visual image of that because it is not pretty. So we've got her in the barn on her own, and we're going to use some purple, well, technically it's called purple spray, but it's blue spray, to keep the flies off and disinfect everything and treats her boobies. So it's farm life, unfortunately. These type of things happen and you have to become a makeshift vet. So Mum's caught Susie, so I'm going to go over and give her a hand. Okay, so I'm just spraying some blue spray.
It's good girl, Suze.
Let go of her then.
Good girl, darling.
So unfortunately what I think might have happened is she's possibly got a stick completely through her boob, like in and out the whole way. So I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do.
Well, vet, I reckon.
Yeah, because it's bad.
Well, I've just put the arms back on the tractor after, oh, I don't know, a week of doing other jobs where I didn't need them, but now I want to go and cut this. Well, I want to cut the front garden, but it looks like that might not happen this morning. I wanted to put my plough on. I want to plough where we've got round the pallets up the top, and I wanted to plough the front fields you saw me spraying with water last week so I can reseed it. But the girls have just come back from up the top, and unfortunately our goat Susie has got a bit of an injury, and Molly's just been up there and given it a bit of a treatment. We've just come back and rung the vet, and he said to do exactly what we're doing, so I'm going to go back up there a bit more. We really don't want to show you this because I'm not looking forward to what I've got to go and do, but unfortunately it's normal. We've had it a few times with animals on the farm. It's at this time of the year with flies around, you really ought to try and treat the wound as quickly as possible. Molly's looked this morning and it's filled with maggots, but what's not looking good for her is that on the other side there is also a hole, and it's that big. There's one this side, there's one, and they're both full of maggots. I've washed all my hands and everything on my forearms, so I've got some gloves which we've washed in a cleaner in the house, and it's poor Susie, the one that I treated years ago when we got her, and she really doesn't like me because the only time I ever get close to her is when she's in pain, bless her. So it wouldn't be too bad if it's on a leg or something, but it's in her udder, so she might not ever produce milk again out of that side. I haven't even seen it yet. So right, are you coming in with me and locking us in?
In the new gate tab built.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I hope it's 2 wounds and not one that's joined up. Oh, Susie, darling, come here. Susie, no. She knows it's me. Susie doesn't like it. Well, I don't like it either. I really don't like doing things like this, but I'm not going to leave her. And I want to give her a chance. So I just want to sort of say that it's farm life, unfortunately. Stuff happens, so we want to try and show you the real side of owning animals, and unfortunately this is the downside of it. Susie. Push her in that corner, get her in that corner. Perfect.
Hello,
Go forward,
darling.
Sandra, go forward.
Good
Right.
girl, Suze.
Come on, Papa, come on.
What's that? Just for Susie. Right, I need to go this side, don't I? 'Cause
Alright. I'm going to be careful I don't get a foot in the face. There's hardly any maggots in it now.
Okay, good, so I did manage to...
Yeah. So, basically, it's just a fly spray you spray in your house, and this is exactly what the vet would use in a scenario like this.
And I did ask, and he said it doesn't need to be animal grade, it can just be household fly killer. Good girl.
And then you spray the surrounding area to keep the flies away from her. And now the blue treatment spray. I know, darling. I know, sweetheart. I know you don't like me. I'm cool with that, darling. I just want to save
Help
you.
you.
I actually think you're lovely, Susie. So come on, darling, help me. Help me, Susie. Oh yeah, this is the bad side. Oh Jesus, that is just heaving.
Maggot after maggot, yeah?
In their tens.
Oh.
That's why we go on about fires, people. Middle of nowhere. I think you guys will be able to see the column of smoke. It's been going for about 40 minutes. I think it says they've just put it out, but we're not entirely sure. By the look of the column of smoke, I'd say that they have got it put out. Here comes a helicopter. He's really slowed down to decide where he puts that water, and he's very low on it. So yeah, looks like he's just hit another good patch. Good man. And the reason why we've come here is the little houses in the distance there is the village beyond our farm. So and the reason we come out is sometimes the IPMA or the Foggers PT app is not super accurate, or it's quite hard to see exactly where the fire is. So it's always best to come and physically have a look. Well, they haven't got it out yet, but at least it's not a big raging fire. Well, it's the following morning. One of the holes was like that yesterday, and it's now almost completely closed up. So I think I got all the maggots out of that one, because otherwise they don't close up. The rear one, I've just got 25 maggots out of her, and I think I've got all of them this time. Although it's hard to see because maggots burrow their way in, and unfortunately at this time of the year there's flies everywhere. So it's a good thing to treat any scars or anything else you can as quickly as possible, which Molly did. But with the amount of flies, some of them have obviously got on the wound and laid some eggs. So but we just want to show you the real part of farm life, and it's not all roses.
No, but we have brought her into the hay barn, so she's away from all of the other goats.
Yeah, she was locked in here last night, so she had a lovely hay bed behind Molly.
She's got water and food and hay.
But we've kept Susie in here overnight on her own. She's going to stay in for the rest of the day on her own. And we're going to come up in another 25 minutes or so, and I'll give her an injection of antibiotics just to help her along. So anyway, we've got to go and get on with some jobs. We'll come back and check her every couple of hours and see if there's any more maggots forming. That won't be, by the way, that won't be from more flies getting in there. That'll be because the first flies that laid their little eggs, they take about 48 hours to hatch. So you've pulled out the early hatches, and now you might have some more still in there turning into maggots. So I'll have to keep checking it and pulling it out. But I'm hoping today that's going to start healing up for her.
What Dad's moving right now is the roofing from the old hay barn that used to be here when the goats were originally kept here. And the plan for today is to hopefully move this manure to the rest of the compost pile we've got.
Right, and this is some of the bedding we pulled out. And that's what, the way we have the beds, that's what it'll turn like after a few months. Now we're just going to put that in the back of the truck now, take it up the top and dump it with the other lot. Out here.
Now up the top to unload this, correct?
Yeah, well, now's to see if Mum can actually get the truck up the top. I think that's the suspension fully loaded.
Maybe take the tractor to the
No, I'll do it from behind. I can't pull you up. I have to push you up. And we've done this before, which is why the back of the...
Yeah.
This has got a little bend in it because I've had to push Sandra up a hill before. Do you want me to do it?
No.
You've got to go up it quick. Lucy, Eddie, come on. Lucy, come. Lucy, Eddie. Always in the way, isn't he? A little bit more. Whoa! Ah! Go on, cut out.
Nope.
Told her she wouldn't work.
Attempt number 2. Well, I mean, at least it's at the top.
Is it the top?
Yeah, Eddie has a tendency to stand at the top of the hill and wait. Hey, Jeff.
So I've just moved one of the old baths out of the way and a few bits of rubbish that were here, so I can pass the tractor here. And the idea is if the fire comes in, it won't get our pallets. So I'll finish clearing off round here, and then we've got some other job. I want to go and take the tractor to the front garden and plough that so I can seed it, because apparently, when is it? A few more days we've got rain.
Well, we've got sunshine and showers between now and the middle of June.
Well, let's hope we get it. I really would love it. I've never ever seen rain at this month in all the 9 years we've lived here, but if we get it this year I shall be over the moon that we get it. So right, well, let's crack on, then we go in and get a bit of breakfast and we can carry on. A good time to say about these bushes. Look at the roots on them. So, like all the land I've cleaned up there is all these bushes. You chop them off here and they regrow. Right, let's go around the dung pile. Oh, it's hot, isn't it?
As you can see, Dad's just pushing the dung pile onto the old dung pile, and he's ploughed all around it and all near the pallets so that everything should be nice and safe.
Right, I'm about to plough the field, but before I do, we've got 2 dead trees in here that I'm hoping I'm going to be able to pull out of the ground and get rid of, and then I can plough a slightly larger area, and it just removes 2 trees that are unfortunately dead. When I push it over or pull it out, I'm bound to break off some of these branches, so they'll need cleaning up. Let's have a go at pushing it first and see if it's actually going to come out of the ground. can see the root ball coming out of the ground under the tractor. And this one's slightly bigger, but I think it will come out too. Yeah, it's coming. I'm having problems with the gear stick here. It's some linkage bars under here like this, and one of them's not, don't know, it's not liking it. Okay. Let's strap it onto the tree and see if we can pull it out. Wouldn't be a normal day without a problem, would it? And we all know me, I like a good problem, eh? I just mentioned the gear stick giving me some problems, didn't I? Well, it's just gone snap. You just couldn't make it out. Look at it, it couldn't be in a worse place, could it? I'm hoping the linkage has just popped off. Ooh. Ah, right, okay. Yeah. Why would that break off of there? At least it's not the same problem as before, but I don't know if you guys can see it. There should be something around this, which is over here and pulled off. Oh, joy of joys. Don't know if I'm actually going to be able to fix this now today. That means that field is not going to get ploughed on time, how I want it to. That's why things get delayed, guys. I think I'm going to try and put it in reverse manually like we did before, and just drive the tractor down on the bottom of the road, take the tree off that's hanging off the end, put it in forward and take it back to the front of the house, if we can. So we're in Costello Branco right now. And I've just bought the little circlips that I need to hopefully get the tractor working again, and I've also asked the guys in there if they do a similar sort of ball joint that I need, because the bits on the tractor I think causing the problem are these real cheap ball joints that they fitted, and I can buy seriously hardcore good quality ones for €6 each, but I need to bring the bar with me to get the correct thread size on it, which I knew I would do, but I just want to get this field ploughed. I don't want to be pulling any more bits off the tractor. So now I'm off to go and see if I can order some parts for my water pump, which got broken about a year ago in one of our videos. And I'd like to thank Mark very, very much for sending me the money to go and buy these parts. Mark has been sending me emails every now and again. We chat occasionally, lives in Australia and watches our channel. And we've been sending some good emails to each other, so I really appreciate that, Mark. I really do. I'm just going to nip off now to the other end of the city and go and hopefully order these parts. Just been in to see the guy for the pieces for the water pump, and they'll be here on Tuesday. Unfortunately, he sold his last pair yesterday, so some bloke got here before me, but they'll be here on Tuesday. It's Friday now, so weekend, not bad. That hurt, paying for these. 4 washers, nothing special, flat washers out of one of the big brand stores they've got out here. Those just cost me €6 for 4 washers, and the reason I need them is I need the internal hole of 16mm to go around the shaft I've got the circlips for. I bought 14 circlips in the other shop, cost me £1.90. 4 washers, €6, so, but it'll fix it, and in the grand scheme of things €6 is pretty cheap to fix the problem I've got if I went to the tractor shop. So now it's finally time to go home, and as you can see it's threatening to rain, and every shop I go in, everybody's going, oh, it's going to pour down with rain. So I need to hurry up, get back and get this sorted. Should we go then, missus?
Need some fuel. What are you doing?
Putting these bits on and trying to get out before it rains. And that wasn't it. Oh, bollocks. Oh, excuse me, YouTube. Right, well, it might do for half a dozen gear changes, which is all I really need. It's going to pour down with rain in a bit, and I'm really desperate to get this land sowed. There's a guy I know out in the fire road there in one of those big machines cleaning all the fire roads, and that's what we like to see.
Hello, girls.
Hello, sweetheart. Hello, big boy. Oh, Jesus. Just pull it off with my bloody hand.
Do you want me to hold the gear stick
No,
back
it's
or
not
anything?
that. It's this groove that the circlip's meant to go in. Really is just a really bad design. And this little problem could mean that we don't get any feed for the goats in there for ages. Or I could get it in there, but I'm going to need to water the living daylights out of it instead of getting it done for free.
If you're thinking of moving to Portugal and buying a tractor, make sure you're mechanically minded.
Or don't buy this model. Some of this, I mean, if I change these for better quality pieces, the systems, there's nothing wrong with the system. It's just some of the parts that they've used are just, it's ridiculous.
Fingers crossed you fixed it.
Well, it's gone backwards and forwards, so let's hope that works at least another 20-30 times for me. I came down the fire track last night. You would have seen me when the tractor got stuck. I had to leave the tree right at the bottom of the fire road. We've just come back and met the guy with the machine who needs to pass there, so I won't take the bucket off yet because I'm going to use that to move the tree out of his way.
And yes,
Perfect, because the grass is too tall.
and yes, Farmer Alex does still
Yeah, I need my
have his
boots.
Crocs on because his boots haven't come yet.
Oh well.
Now what, boss?
Seeds, mate.
Seeds. Okay.
So it's about, I don't know, 1 o'clock. Sandra and I have just been in, and Sandra's just made me some breakfast, bless her. And yes, that is right, breakfast. I've been up since 6:30. with the trip to CB and back. We've only just eaten. I'm going to put some Sudan grass down with a mixture of that's Sudan grass, very fine little seeds, but a very good plant to rejuvenate your soils. And this I think is centeio, so it's wheat or barley. And no, it doesn't say on the bag. And I store all my seeds in a barrel like this, so the mice and rats and other things can't get at it, and more importantly the damp. So we're just going to whiz in the field and sow some of this.
Well, he has changed his footwear.
Oh yes, I've gone for proper boots now, because my safety crocs are filling up with flour. Right, come on then girl, let's get on with it. Dust everywhere. Some of it's like this, and this would be fine, this, but more there in the middle, the clumps of grass which you might have seen me pulling out a little bit earlier, they're too much. So when I seed it, you're going to get big lumps. So I'm going to go around with my my little grad here and hope that I can just clump a little bit more of it up. And I don't really want to be putting this in the ground too much more, because I don't want to over break the ground up. So this is a tool I welded up years ago and made. Right, so hopefully this will just grab the bits of grass, make some piles of it, and I can clean it and then get a leveler field. And when I said flour earlier, that's what I meant. It's right, well that's what the tool does. Well, one of the jobs it does. You can see how level it is now. Because if I am to sow in here, if I come in and hand sow and the seeds come in here by using the red tool, which is how it leaves it, then when I come like that and it buries it, it'll bury the seeds too deep. These seeds literally only want to be a centimetre under the surface, or they won't break the ground, or a lot less will break the ground. And it's literally, it's just grass. The roots have got no dirt left on it, so I'm not pulling soil out of the field. That will rock down. I think people can see the difference between sort of clean and unclean like this. Dropping seeds in this isn't good. So, right.
So Dad is about to go around on the tractor and lightly cover all of the seed he's just put down using this invention that he made. It's going to lightly rake the soil over, and as you can see from the grey clouds, we are expecting rain. So we've done this in perfect timing. I hope the camera will pick this up, because I really shouldn't walk on it. Here is all seed, and here's what Dad's just plowed, and he's covered everything up.
Well, it looks like the trip to CB this morning's paid off.
It is starting to rain. You can see by the tractor we've got some droplets.
Yep, it's raining.
thought I'd give you a quick update, as we had lots of comments last week hoping that the men would come back and clear the fire tracks. As you can see, they've done all the way around the side of our farm. This is another track that me and Molly use. And as you can see, it's lovely and clear. So fingers crossed, we should be a bit safer this year. Look at that, lovely and clear. And we've had rain, so it's damped it down. So we're not quite as dusty at the moment. But as you can see, rain clouds. So Molly and I, we're just going to go and put the goats in, because the goats don't like the rain. As I said, it's raining and our goats don't like the rain. Yeah, there's Susie.
Susie somehow got out.
Yeah, not quite sure how on that one. Come on then, girls, in we go.
If she wants to go back in, I think we should let her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good girl. Come on then, Flo. Come on, everyone. Move your booties. Come on. Good girl.
So we were going to give you an update on Susie.
But she's decided to let herself out.
So she's a lot brighter. She's definitely not out of the woods yet. But fingers crossed, she'll be okay.
We bought all of the sprays and everything that we needed to treat her. I mean, it wasn't very cheap, but
No, needs must.
What's important.
Exactly.
And I'm extremely grateful to Dad for what he did for her. There's no way I could have done that.
There's no way Molly and I could have been picking maggots out, and there's just no way. So thank you, Alex. We know it's been a tough week this week, trying to get everything done before the rain.
Thank you for making it this far to this week's video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment, and we will see you back here next week.
Thanks for watching, everybody.